Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Jack Finn joins us. He's spokesman for Turning Point Action Nevada. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
This piano's in tune because I take care of it. Neglect it, and nothing sounds right. That's our economy. Congress neglects us while lining their pockets, self-dealing, insider trading, while you do more with less. One good job used to buy a home, fill your tank, raise a family. Not anymore. I'm Marty O'Donnell. I approve this message because it's time to get Congress back in tune.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're absolutely delighted to welcome to the program Jack Finn. I have known Jack for a very, very long time. I don't even want to go back how far. He's currently a spokesman for Turning Point Action Nevada. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Sam, thanks for having me. It's been too long.
Let's start out, as we're recording this, with the news that Abdel Al-Sayed wins the Michigan Senate primary. What do you make of these Democratic socialists?
Well, they're coming for us, Sam. This isn't just a notion, an idea in the ether, some threat off on the horizon. These radical leftists, these socialists, these communists, they're coming for us, and they're here. They're taking over American cities. They're establishing themselves as prominent candidates and elected officials, and it's a frightening development. From Turning Point Action, our message is they can't have Nevada. You can't have Nevada. We're in the neighborhoods, we're in the communities, and we're fighting to make sure they don't get a foothold here. Because it really would be the downfall of our state, eventually the downfall of our country. That's not hyperbole. They're here, it's a real threat, and they can't have Nevada.
You know, it's interesting to watch New York with Mayor Mondami, and, he's pushing forward with as many of the objectives that he ran on as he possibly can, and, it's an interesting divide. A couple of other quick stories. The past Senate primary win gives Democrats a ray of hope in deep red Kansas. This is the Reverend Adam Hamilton. Do you see any chance of Kansas changing?
I'm not that familiar with Kansas, but I'm telling you, we have to take this threat very seriously. And Turning Point Action is. And that's why we are in the communities, in the neighborhoods, getting out and making sure that good people are engaged. This is not a time for anyone to sit on their hands and sit out and not take advantage of their right to vote, to get involved, to get mobilized. And that's what we encourage good people to do. If we don't, if we sit by, if we stand on the sidelines, these crazy radical leftists they will take over. And some of the ideas that they have are unbelievable. I don't know if you saw this congressional candidate in Colorado recently said that the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are more closely aligned with socialism than with democracy. This Francesca Hong in Wisconsin wants to cancel Thanksgiving and says that tipping is racist and felt attacked when an IT tech put a Christmas background on her computer. These people have very, very crazy, very radical ideas. They're coming for us, and Turning Point Action is standing in their way and saying, no, you will not have our neighborhoods. You certainly will not have Nevada.
All right, so you've got a battle going on for the heart and soul of a Democratic Party. You also have a fight going on here in Nevada for the heart and soul of the Republican Party. And I'll give as the example, CD2. Mark Amadei was on the program a couple of days ago, and I asked him about Colonel David Flippo, who did win the primary on the Republican side in deep Republican territory. And he absolutely is not going to endorse him, wants to have nothing to do with him, and went on a long rant about not cooperating with him or endorsing him. So what were your thoughts about Colonel Flippo running in CD4, and then once he found out that Amadei wasn't going to run, moving up and running for CD2? I mean, obviously it was a smart move. He won.
Yeah. Well, look, internecine rivalries and arguments and maybe even some bitterness are always going to be part of the process. I think that's a normal outcome of good people competing, wanting to have their voices heard, thinking that they're the best candidate. And that's all a natural part of the process. Turning Point has endorsed Colonel Flippo. We are backing him. We think he's going to do a tremendous job representing the people of that district. And that is to say nothing negative about anybody else who's involved in that campaign. But we're backing Colonel Flippo. We're looking forward to him serving the people of that district and serving them well.
All right, so let me ask you then, why David Flippo? What is it about him? You know, the thing that's kind of interesting is that the campaign will not allow him on this program or any other program. They're allowing him to go to very small groups, but I had a chance to go and visit with him. It seems like a very nice guy. Learning about Northern Nevada, because most of the things at the time he talked about were about Southern Nevada, but that's understandable. But you know, as a longtime political player, what are your thoughts on basically hiding Colonel Flippo until after the election? The last time I saw this, I think, was when Chick Hecht ran for U.S. Senate.
Well, look, Colonel Flippo and his campaign can speak for themselves. I am not a spokesman for the Flippo for Congress campaign. He is a dedicated patriot, a dedicated Nevadan, and we feel he will serve the people of that district well.
You know, Jack Finn, this is why you're one of the best in the business. That's all I can say. Okay, but do answer this. What is it about him that inspires you for him to be the candidate?
Well, he has a proven track record of service. I've spoken to him at length, and his desire to serve the people of Nevada in whatever capacity he can is genuine. He served his country. He wants to serve the state. He's smart. He's willing to learn. He's willing to make the sacrifices that you have to make to be a good candidate, and his commitment to serve the people in that district is genuine.
Well, we would love to have him on the program. As you know, we try to be fair with everybody, and we certainly be fair with him.
Well, next time I see him, I'll put a word in for you.
Please do, sir. Please do. All right, so let's start out because one of the reasons I wanted to invite you on the program was that, you know, sadly, most people are aware of Turning Point, either of the two organizations, because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who founded both of these organizations. But most people have no idea what Turning Point stands for. And when I went to see Colonel Flippo, this recent appearance in Northern Nevada, there were a couple of members of Turning Point there, and they were talking about how big a deal Turning Point was in Las Vegas, and that it was really going to be and was already a huge organization, and that they were starting to move into northern Nevada. So let's start out with, and we're talking about Turning Point Action. Who is it? What is it? Who's paying for it? What's the goal?
Turning Point Action is under the Turning Point USA umbrella or sister organizations. One's a 501c3, one's a 501c4. We don't need to get into the technical differences there. But what I want your viewers to know, Sam, is that Turning Point Action is here to stay in Nevada. This is a growing and a permanent presence that we're going to have. We are focused in Southern Nevada now for this election cycle. We will be moving up into Northern Nevada beginning probably in 27 and certainly for the 28 cycle. But what we're doing, Sam, is we are reaching out to disengaged or low propensity Republican voters and having interpersonal communications with them, getting to know them as their neighbors. We're hiring representatives from within their neighborhoods as part of our Chase the Vote program. And what we want to do is be more interpersonal and less transactional. We're not going to knock on your door, hand you some literature, and move on. We're not professional operatives who parachute in from another state. We are your neighbors, and we want you to get involved. Our mindset is that you have to win your street first. Win your street, then win your neighborhood, then win your county, then win your state. And this movement is one that's growing. We had 19 or 20 people in 24. We're coming up on a couple hundred now. We have 7 regions, each with a regional manager. Each of those managers oversees a team, and each member of that team is out as we speak, knocking on doors, and not just knocking on doors, establishing relationships, communicating with people, offering to help, and encouraging them eventually to get out and get involved. The crazy leftists that we spoke about at the top of the show will take over if good people with traditional American values don't get out and get involved. And that starts with voting. There are other ways. Turning Point has a number of tremendous coalitions that are growing by the day. It's amazing how fast this organization is growing. And we are here to stay.
You talked about low propensity voters. On the website, it talks about people who think Republican, but they're not going out to vote. And so those are the people that you've got to try and convert. How difficult is that?
When you hire the right people, it's less difficult. We hire people that are genuine about wanting to be involved in their community, genuine about having real conversations with people. Again, not just handing them literature, not just knocking on the door and saying, hey, election day is coming, get out and vote. It's the establishment of genuine relationships that we hope will translate into people recognizing that if they don't get involved, we could go the way of New York City or Dearborn, Michigan, or other places where Democrat socialists and other lunatics are taking over. They've got to get involved. Sitting out is not an option. There's also an educational component to it. There are people who believe that if they go to a rally and give their information, that they actually have then registered to vote. And that's not the case. If they sign a petition that they've registered to vote, we want to make sure they understand the process as well.
And you have, across the country, thousands of volunteers, correct?
Thousands of volunteers across the country and hundreds here in Nevada, and growing every day. I mean, Sam, later today, I have 3 or 4 interviews with people who want to join our movement, who want to join this team and get involved. I mean, Turning Point Action is here to stay. We've got a large office here in Las Vegas that serves as our headquarters. The team is growing by leaps and bounds on a daily basis. We've gone from 18 or 19 to a couple of hundred, and it's a genuine movement that's really going to change things here in Nevada.
All right. I hope I'm not being offensive by asking this in this way, but you talk about the far left. And the craziness that's going on in the Democratic Party. And I think that's obvious to many people, including people like Bill Maher and Jon Stewart, who have become more moderate voices for the Democratic Party rather than leaning all the way to the left. When you look at Turning Point Action, do you consider them to be a far-right party, leaning to the right or centrist right? Where do you see them sitting?
We're definitely a conservative organization, Sam, but more of a common sense conservative organization. And the viewpoints within our organization vary. We have moderate conservatives, we have very hardcore MAGA conservatives, and everything in between. But we believe in the founding principles of this country, and we believe that those principles are at risk. And the way to fight back that threat is by getting involved, getting voting, join one of our coalitions. I mean, the coalitions that we formed have such a wide swath of Nevadans. We have a faith coalition, a Black Americans coalition, a Latino coalition, a Farmers and Ranchers coalition, a Gen Z coalition, a Healthy America coalition. My favorite, Sam, Classic American coalition, which means gray-haired guys like you and me. But the coalitions are wide and broad, and there's a great diversity of thought and opinion. But we are all on the conservative side of the political spectrum, and we're all motivated to make sure that this threat from the far left doesn't take hold here in Nevada.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Jack Finn. He's the spokesman for Turning Point Action Nevada after this timeout.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
This summer, all roads lead to Hobie's Casino for trucks or bucks. Win up to $1,000 in cash every week. Then buckle up and win a brand new Tacoma or $35,000 in cash. Shift the winning into high gear at Hobie's Casino.
Aaron Ford says he was a teacher.
I taught middle school math.
Here's some math.
Ford took over 420 days of vacation
while we showed up for work.
That's more than a year of paid vacation.
While he was jetting off to Paris,
Martha's Vineyard, and Cabo,
we were here.
We were here.
We were here teaching.
You know who else was here?
Joe Lombardo. For kids, families, and teachers.
He shows up every time.
And teachers are going to show up for Joe Lombardo every time.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jack Finn. He's the spokesman for Turning Point Action Nevada. Now, one of the areas that you're aiming at are youth, and you're in the high schools. How difficult is it to get any number of our youth interested in voting? I mean, there's noise from campuses, but are there significant numbers there that you're finding?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and I'll tell you why. The left in America has an iron grip on the news media, on pop culture, and on academia. So these kids, when they reach out to get information, they're overwhelmed with left-of-center messaging in their classrooms, on their social media feeds, and social media transcends all three of those things that I mentioned. But I think they're looking for an alternative. These kids are smart, and they know when they're trying to be sold something. And every time they open their virtual doors by turning on their phones or whatever device they have, it's the left they're hearing from. So when we come at them from a different perspective and encourage them to look at things a different way, I mean, that's what Charlie Kirk's mission was all about. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a conversation. Have you thought about it this way? Engagement. That's what Charlie was all about, and that's what our organization continues to be all about. So if you engage with these young people, we're finding that their ears are open and their minds are open, and you can have a conversation with them. And it's encouraging to see. So the youth is one of those areas that we are really focusing on and seeing great progress being made as part of our overall outreach effort.
One of the things you were talking about earlier is fiscal responsibility. And it seems to me that over the last, years, maybe even decade or so, the fiscal responsibility on both sides of the aisle has gone out the window, with the $39 trillion debt. And the result of that being, you go out for a sandwich, it's $20. I mean, it's really hitting home at this point in time, more so than I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. How does Turning Point turn fiscal responsibility into reality? Because when you started out, that was what the Republican Party was all about.
And I think that's part of the principles that we want to get back to, because you're right. Affordability is the big catchphrase now, as it should be, because that's what's on people's minds. But we want to make sure that they are engaged in making wise choices if that's their concern, and it should be. I mean, if you want to see things out of control, vote for a socialist. You know what they say about free healthcare. You think healthcare is expensive now, wait till it's free. Their policies just don't work. It is conservatives, it is the Republican Party that can get us back on track fiscally, even if we have lost track of that to a certain degree now. So, which I'll concede. If you want to get back on track economically, fiscally, who are you going to trust? Conservatives or socialists? I think it's a pretty clear choice, and we're just encouraging low propensity and disengaged voters to consider that, to educate themselves. We're not telling them what to think. Educate themselves, and once you've made a decision, get out and vote. Get out and get involved.
More with Jack Finn when we come back.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jack Finn. He's the spokesman for Turning Point Action Nevada. So I have to ask you this, who's paying for all of this? Because, Turning Point Action is spending a lot of money across this country.
Well, Sam, we are blessed to have a large number of generous donors who appreciate the mission that Charlie Kirk started and that we are proud to carry on. and they are fueling our effort to reach out to low propensity and disengaged voters and to make sure that they play their part in getting this state and our nation back on track. We are building a presence here in Nevada, Sam, that is going to outperform the vaunted Harry Reid machine. By getting low propensity voters out, engaged, and voting, Turning Point Action is here to stay in Nevada. We're going to be in northern Nevada soon. We're in southern Nevada to a very large extent. We're here to stay, and we are going to be the force that is going to keep Nevada from falling into the hands of these crazy leftists.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is there anywhere available a list of the people who are funding this that one can look at, or is that just not available?
No. Suffice it to say that we are blessed to have donors who appreciated what Charlie Kirk started and that we're proud to carry on.
All right, I have one last thought here, which is I'm still trying to find which communist country is the one that people should be looking at as a success story for the United States to follow. I've not seen one yet.
I'm with you, Sam. I mean, you look at where these policies have been implemented and the impacts it's had on people, including the most vulnerable people. It has failed everywhere it's been tried. And Turning Point Action is not going to let those policies and that mindset take hold in Nevada. We're here to stay, Sam.
And that's where we have to leave it for now. Jack Finn, what a pleasure to see you, my friend, and come back soon, okay?
I will, Sam. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. If you want to be on our mailing list, go to the website, nevadanewsmakers.com, and sign up. You'll get the guest list in advance every Friday, and on Mondays, a whole list of our new archive shows going back to 2003. We'll see you on the next podcast.